I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well, thanks. Hey, you've added something or shown some pretty clear improvement every year, going from this Lakers Summer League all the way to starting Game 6 of the finals. I just wonder, with this shortened offseason and what you learned about yourself last year, especially in the playoffs, what is the plan and the ideal for your contribution this season?
I don't know. I kind of think it's just the same thing as I've always done, man. Just keep trying to find ways to get better. Keep trying to find ways to impact the game that other people can't. I honestly feel like there's a little bit of positive to take from this. Like us in the Heat have had the shortest amount of time off between playing meaningful games and games where you have to be, on your P's and Q's to say and being locked in and be ready to play. I think that's helped me. Even when I've picked up playing a little pickup and going through some skill work, I just feel like I've had better carryover from now, from last season to now than I have in previous seasons to my summer workouts, just because there was a shortened amount of time. So in that aspect, I'm a little excited about getting back and playing. But as far as, improving and seeing what I can do, it's always the same stuff for me. I think I can get better in every area. I don't think there's one or two that I need to singularly, point out or make the focus. I think it's just an overall thing for me.
I guess we've seen that somewhat, Alex, in guys that play for their national teams in an Olympic year or something, right? That come in rhythm and have a good season. So do you see that as something that applies? And then just added to that, how do you make sure that your body is getting what it needs to maintain that length of season that wouldn't be typical?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I think I think that's maybe the only advantage coming out of maybe having the shortest amount of rest is that, we were, the team that played the longest and has played most recently. And I think that's going to help us. Vice versa, like you said, getting the bodies back to where they need to be. I took a couple of weeks of just not doing a lot, maybe lifting a couple times a week, maybe one workout for the first couple of weeks after we won the championship, just to get, wrist, back, knees, everything, just get everything back to equilibrium or back to where it needs to be for me to be able to get back to work.
Right, Dave McMenamin of ESPN.
Alex, good to see you, buddy. What was the experience like having a little bit of time to kind of get out of the bubble and then maybe see how your profile had grown? Like, did you experience any, obviously with COVID, maybe you weren't really around people the way you would be in normal times, but did you experience like perhaps your notoriety growing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's normal post winning a championship. There was always kind of a little bit of buzz for me, just given the state of Lakers basketball and kind of the come up that I've had and the exposure that I've gotten over the last year and a half, 2 years. But I think now it's maybe a little less, people just like saying my name and calling out. And I think that now it's a little more recognizable of achievement. I think they understand that I played a big role in us trying to get to the championship and us winning the championship. And I think that's a thing that people appreciate now. Lakers fans already were in love with me, I think. Now I think it's just kind of doubled over.
All right, Dan Warkey, LA Times.
Sorry, I'm just letting all that love soak in for a second. Alex, you saw kind of this team incorporate people last year into the fold. There was pretty hefty turnover, I guess, when you think about, losing Dwight, losing Rondo, losing Danny, and replacing them with vets. What is it about the culture and the leadership within this organization that makes you confident that you'll be able to recapture that chemistry with new guys?
Yeah, unfortunate. It's a positive, unfortunate situation. A lot of those guys went on to take good money other places and to get maybe some expanded roles, and that's always expected coming off a championship team. Is there's always people that are on discount. Any good championship team over the years in any league, there's always either some rookies or some young players or some vets that are on a bit of a discount. So happy for those guys and thankful for the opportunity to play with those group of guys that aren't here anymore. But also, like you said, I think we just have a good base of chemistry, and I think they helped establish that. And I think the new guys coming in are going to do a great job of fitting into that and continuing to push the envelope and try to make this team better than we were last year.
Bill Orm with The Athletic.
Hey, Alex, good to see you. I'm wondering, kind of along those same lines, but with all that turnover, you guys had such a just tremendous defense, especially by the end of the season in the bubble. It's a different defense without it's not built on the rim protection like it was last season. How do you see this team coming together as a defensive unit?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's going to be a different look. We lost two enforcers inside as far as shot blocking and contesting the rim and cleaning up the boards, but at the same time, I think the pieces we added fit great. I don't think it's a step backwards in any means. I think it's just different. And I think we have the IQ of the team and the coaching staff to put together a great system, to work on that system and improve it throughout the year like we did last year, and ultimately be in the right place at the end of the year to use whatever system they put in place and do it really, really well and hopefully get back to the finals.
Kyle Goon, SC News Group.
Hey, C, how you doing, man?
What's up, Kyle?
Obviously you guys kind of dealt with a lot of adaptation, a lot of weird circumstances that no one had ever been through before. What's sort of the carryover of your guys' ability to kind of adapt to the new format of the season, the 72 games, the restrictions, everything that's going on there? And what's sort of the internal dialogue? Do you guys feel like it's similar in the way that last season was so unpredictable, or does it feel like a new challenge?
I think it's just as unpredictable as ever, I mean, the fact that we don't even have a full season schedule just shows it's going to be an unpredictable year, right? Like, they've only scheduled games, or at least released that they've only scheduled games up until the All-Star break, just because I think they have to have something in place in case games get canceled or something pops up, So as far as it goes, I feel like last year was almost just a trial run. Last year was just dipping our toes in the water of seeing what it's going to be like, seeing what a bubble would be like, going through, and all these other leagues have tested out what traveling to markets and playing games, and then we'll see what the NFL does with playoffs. And honestly, I think the NBA is in a really good position to carry out a full season and to make it work. As far as the players, mindset going into it, you just got to be adaptable. You got to be ready to play different minutes on different nights, given the circumstances of rest, COVID, of travel, whatever comes up, just being ready. And I think, one of the big things this year is just going to be the mental fortitude of all the teams. And I think we have a good group, a bunch of guys that we brought back last year that I know we can go to battle with, and the guys we added, I'm sure of that once they get acclimated, they're going to be right there with us.
Allie Clifton with Spectrum.
Hey, Alex, good to see you. When you speak of that acclimation process, what has that been like so far for you guys? Those that are returning, of course, but then also the new additions, just in terms of chemistry, that camaraderie. I know even outside the lines, it's really big for you guys and the success you guys had last season. Have you guys begun that process just yet? What has that been like?
Yeah, just slowly getting to see everybody for the first time. So far, I've seen Mark, Trez, and Wes. I still got to meet a couple other guys, but I mean, everybody's played against each other a couple of times in the league now, so everybody's familiar with each other. It's just about, like you said, getting that time where the team can spend quality time together. After our roster's finalized, we'll get our group chat going. We'll get the jokes and the inside story that everybody wants to know that nobody will ever find out. We'll get those conversations going, and then from there on, we'll just kind of find time to reconnect as a team. It's gonna be different not being able to maybe go out and have public dinners or do stuff like that, but I think we'll have plenty of time to hang out. And like you said, you're not going many places as you would in the past, so we'll have plenty of time to get used to each other and acclimate.
All right, we're going to take a couple more for you. Alan Sliwa, ESPN LA.
Hey, Alex, just want to get your thoughts. Some of the off-season acquisitions and just the bench in general, there's going to be so much talent coming off of the bench. Have you thought about what that could look like, how impactful the bench could be for this upcoming season? Have you given that any thought yet?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as soon as they announced the signings and the guys we got coming back, everybody starts mapping out what you think the team will look like, how you think things will work. I'm excited. I mean, anytime there's a new season, you're always excited. But coming off a championship, losing the pieces we did, but then the front office doing a great job of bringing in new pieces that I think fit well and bring a different look to our team. I think that's one of the big things from last year is the more times you play somebody, the better chance you have of figuring out their system and figuring out ways to beat them. And I think we did a good job of mixing it up throughout the year, and then the coaching staff putting us in the right positions, and then finally we got to the end and won it. And I think it's almost a benefit to us to not have the same exact system coming back. I think it's going to be another challenge for teams around the league to figure out how to beat us and how we're playing, and then we counter back and go back at them and to change and make some adjustments. I'm looking forward to it. And whether that's the way the season's looking, there's going to be different lineups and different people playing different minutes. Just with the quick turnaround, with how many games we'll have in a short period of time, I'm really just looking forward to all the different players we have and getting to work with them.
We're going to take one more. Nick Ferris with The Score.
Hey, Alex, just want to ask you quickly about resilience and life in the bubble, looking back a little bit. From the outside, it seemed like, people all around the league, your team had to be quite resilient to handle all aspects of the experience from, being in there for months to trying to win games. And I'm just curious, like, what role do you think resilience played in helping you guys win it all eventually?
Yeah, I think that's really big for us. I think it starts with the leadership we had within the team. We had guys that have been there before, guys that had played in big games. I remember there was a point in the playoffs. It was I think it was in the Rockets series where we went to a timeout, and I'm talking to Rondo on the side, and he just mentioned to me, and he was like, I was worried about what we were doing or figuring something out, and he just said something to me that from there on out, I was like this is for us. He basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, but he basically just said that he wanted his first go around too. And when he told me that, I was just like, you know what, like if we're here, it's going to take a lot for people to beat us, and that kind of gave me the confidence to go in and just to play my game and to ultimately be resilient, because that's what it was. Throughout the playoffs, we lost first game of this series, first game of that series. Second game of the finals, we lost. We don't think we should have lost. The whole bubble series or the whole bubble scenario is being resilient. Being different, being outside of your element. And we had veteran guys on our team that just kept everybody in place. And going back to that chemistry, I think the chemistry of our team really kept us tight knit and just singularly focused on what we needed to do.
All right, Alex, thank you for the time.